My name is H.A. Goodman. I'm an author, columnist, and journalist. Hit subscribe right now to this channel. We are, like a couple hundred away at this point from 120,000 subscribers. Pretty good for a channel that uses reputable sources to completely debunk the propaganda from the mainstream. So I use mainstream sources and I debunk the propaganda. But anyway, be here, November 6th, 2018. I'm on record on RT's Crosstalk. It was published in the Daily Caller. I say this every day on social media and every single day on this channel. Republicans will keep the House and gain in the Senate. You're looking at, you might need to build an arc for the tiers of liberal and mainstream journalists and pundits and people on the left when after 2 years of trying to undermine Trump, calling him every name in the book, oh my God, Stormy Daniels, National Enquirer, he worked with Russia, all of it amounted to nothing but a Republican victory, keeping the House and gaining, theoretically could gain up to 8 Senate seats. But be here. This is yet another example of Trump derangement syndrome at its finest. Treasury employee charged with leaks to Buzzfeed about Trump advisor. The senior advisor allegedly leaked financial records, including information related to Mueller's probe. This is Politico. A senior Treasury Department employee has been arrested on suspicion of leaking a large volume of confidential financial reports, including information related to Special Counsel Robert Mueller's investigation into dealings between Russia and the 2016 Trump campaign. Natalie Mayflower Sowers Edwards, who is a senior advisor at Treasury's Financial Crimes Enforcement Network, was arrested at the Treasury's Financial Crimes Enforcement Network, was arrested in Virginia on Friday and charged with unauthorized disclosure of suspicious activity reports filed by banks and other financial institutions. The criminal complaint against Edward lists 11 Buzzfeed stories she allegedly served as a source for by providing details on financial transactions, including some that might have financed Russian activities during the 2016 campaign season. Well, why didn't that lead to Trump's impeachment? Gee, I wonder why not. Because there was never any evidence, but, oh, look, 11 BuzzFeed stories had a person who illegally gave information, large volumes of confidential financial reports. May have financed Russian activities, not. During the 2016 campaign season, and many involving associates of President Donald Trump, including his former campaign chairman, Paul Manafort. They couldn't do it without leaks. They couldn't foment this entire nonsense. It's not just BuzzFeed. So BuzzFeed published the Steele dossier that was purchased by Hillary Clinton through her law firm. Carter Page is suing the law firm and the DNC. BuzzFeed actually is suing the DNC because it did the DNC a favor, did it a real solid, and published the Steele dossier. But no good deed goes unpunished in Clinton's world. So what took place was they published the Steele dossier, then they promptly got sued by people who were like, hey, you published an unverified documents that stated Carter Page, George Papadopoulos, Paul Manafort, and Michael Cohen were all part of a grandiose conspiracy of individuals to work with Russian intelligence. This is what the insane Steele dossier states. Written by a guy named Christopher Steele, a former MI6 agent. Just coincidentally, GCHQ was spying on Trump. This is according to the Guardian in 2015. Ladies and gentlemen, there is no theory. The conspiracy and the conspirators are actually listed in reputable sources. The Guardian, the New York Times. In 2016, the New York Times, right before the election, stated that, the FBI already looked into it. There's no evidence. There was one headline, FBI found no evidence of Russia collusion. Right before Clinton lost, You had Obama saying, oh, you could never have an election that's influenced by anyone. I mean, all the experts say it's impossible. Then, of course, promptly, they pivoted to, oh my God, Russian Facebook ads. They were telling you that Hillary was going to win. I was telling you on this channel and in my writing that Hillary was going to lose. And I was right. And I wrote 100 articles in the Huffington Post, The Hill, and Salon, and I was on MSNBC and CNN stating at that point that Bernie Sanders is the only candidate that could have won, and Bernie actually could have won. That was a moment in time that will never, ever will never take place again. At that moment, Bernie could have won. I would have been right about that. Thankfully, Trump won. And I say thank God Trump won. Because we have a great economy. We have peace between North and South Korea. We have corrupt FBI agents fired. You wouldn't have those three with Bernie for a variety of reasons. Because both the Washington Post and the Republican Party would converge against Bernie. The left, the Democrats, the establishment Democrats would force Bernie Sanders and to engage in either a regime change or whatever, their foreign policy. He'd fold in 2 seconds. That's what I think would have taken place. I can only base that on how he reacted when he was cheated. I might be a little bit too harsh, but I want a fighter. I want someone who fights. Trump fights, and he's not a neoconservative. He's the opposite of that. Virtually the opposite of that. He's not going to engage in a regime change. Okay, we're not going to invade Iran. That's very bizarre mentality I've seen. We're not going to invade Iran. And then I'm getting into a whole bunch of different topics. But ladies and gentlemen, Buzzfeed relied on these leaks. Trump has complained bitterly about a wave of leaks from officials seeking to undercut his presidency. The charges against Edwards appear to offer further indication that some in the government have been releasing confidential information squarely related to the Mueller probe. Look, the Mueller probe is ending very soon. There's a report that's going to come out that's probably going to say, well, we have suspicions. And George Papadopoulos, 2 weeks. Now George Papadopoulos is going on the offensive. They sentenced him to 2 weeks for lying to an FBI agent. The FBI agents under Strzok, Andrew McCabe, and Comey were all corrupt regarding the Mueller probe. They had an insurance policy. Same with General Flynn, who was interviewed by Peter Strzok. They set General Flynn up. He's an honorable man. He should be free. Actually, he should be reimbursed by the United States government. General Flynn was set up. So they say, oh, he lied to an FBI agent. But even Comey said, yeah, Flynn didn't lie. You have Andrew McCabe now part of a grand jury investigation into him. He'll get indicted eventually. You had Manafort, who bought, the only crime he did was a fashion crime. He bought a $15,000 ostrich feather coat or whatever. And spent $20,000 at like Bijan in Beverly Hills for a suit. Who spends $20,000 for a suit? I don't care how rich you are. That's stupid. That's stupid. I mean, after $1,000. First of all, you should get a tailored suit. Well, obviously it was tailored, but like even $1,000 tailored suit. What more do you need? What more do you need? I've seen Manafort's suit. He didn't look like a supermodel. It was just whatever, like a regular suit. $20,000. Anyway, it has nothing to do with Russian hackers. CrowdStrike was outsourced by Hillary Clinton, and the Steele dossier was purchased by Hillary Clinton. She paid for her own Spygate. She paid for her own Russiagate nonsense baloney. And now we find out that a Treasury employee, a Treasury Department employee, is charged and indicted for leaking information to Buzzfeed. And then you had 11 stories from Buzzfeed. So it is what it is. This is all coming crashing down. You have Elizabeth Warren, who is less Native American than most Americans. She's 1,024th. You have Hillary Clinton, who lost her security clearance, and today we found out from Judicial Watch that, oh, by the way, 300,000+ emails from her to UMA were on Anthony Weiner's laptop, and the FBI knew that there was classified intelligence there for like over a month. What else? I mean, you have the Kavanaugh hearings exposed the left's hypocrisy. Suddenly, why wasn't anybody talking about Keith Ellison? His accuser has medical records that she posted on Twitter. But the left doesn't care about the Me Too movement. They care about pure and unadulterated power. They want power like precious, 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 precious. They ain't going to get it. Republicans are going to keep the House and gain in the Senate. Be here on this channel. November 6, 2018. This Buzzfeed story, this story with the Treasury Department, it's just yet another example of the media working with the remnants of Obama's intelligence community. What you had was a coup, a soft coup, media-driven and intelligence community-driven coup. And instead of toppling another country's leader, the Obama administration presided over an attempt to topple an incoming president's administration. That is something that's never taken place ever in this country. And it is the biggest scandal in U.S. history. Give me your thoughts below. Share this segment. Hit subscribe right now. Thank you so very much.